Well, our thing is how we work and how we operate. It must make business sense on our side.
Let me get to you because I understand that you have retired. You're 50 and 0. You walked away from the game. You made a lot of money, but you did make news sometime last year when people were talking about you returning. Now you're 43 years old, okay? I want to know where your head is at as it pertains to you.
Well, whatever reason it is that they want to see you, that reason is why you money. It's not that you just deserve the money because it's hard to do.
Right.
I have never encountered an athlete who, number one, flaunts his wealth the way Floyd flaunts his wealth, and who, number two, is so blindly full of himself to the fault of those who did pave the way. He did acknowledge that much, so I appreciate
that much. The man who once called himself the best ever is now facing serious challenges. Floyd Mayweather is now embroiled in a major controversy. He is facing allegations of scams and being on the verge of a complete financial collapse. I did it.
You know, I'm a kid that came from poverty. I can remember being a kid living in Jersey with my mother. 7 of us living in a 1-bedroom. You know, no lights, no heat. Never cried, never complained. Just worked hard to get to where I got to in life.
Hard work. When Floyd transitioned from Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather, his image shifted. No longer just a skilled boxer with an unmatched defense, he became a self-proclaimed symbol of wealth and success. His focus turned from boxing greatness to flaunting his riches, making money his ultimate goal.
Floyd went his entire career, got hit hard like 3 or 4 times, ever.
Yeah. When he fought Diego Chico Corrales, which was one of my favorite all-time fights, you know, because it was like, there was nothing for Diego to hit, and then all of a sudden he just bounced in his face, bop, left hook from like 5 feet away. That's a Mayweather that I think nobody could possibly maybe beat.
That was the Pretty Boy Floyd Mayweather. That was before he became...
Earning millions per fight and becoming one of the richest athletes in the world is just complete genius. Yes.
Genius.
Yes.
First of all, from just changing his style, right? He broke his hands a lot. So when he was younger, they called him Pretty Boy Floyd.
Yeah.
And then he changed his name to Money. And when he changed his name to Money, he turns heel. Yeah. He became like this guy and everybody wanted to see him get beat.
Yeah.
And he's the most unhittable guy in the history of the sport.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's interesting when fighters figure out ways to do that too, like what Floyd is doing. What Floyd is doing is so interesting. He retires from fighting, and he says, I'll just start boxing people who have no chance.
But it wasn't until he made the bold decision to go independent that his financial status skyrocketed. This move set him on a path to earning billions, transforming him into the highest-paid athlete in the world. His independence from promoters and his calculated approach to managing his career outside traditional boxing norms allowed him to create a legacy that was financially unparalleled.
Mayweather was the highest paid athlete in the world, and you won't believe why. Early in his career, Floyd partnered with a fight promoter where he was making $3 million a fight, but he wasn't satisfied. He thought he could make way more with pay-per-view and wanted out of his contract. So he bet on himself and paid his manager $750,000 to get out. And you won't believe what happened next, so drop a follow. This would prove to be a huge win for Floyd, and after going independent, he made nearly $1 billion and became the highest paid athlete.
However, with the arrival of his fortune came personal strains. Mayweather's father revealed that before Floyd had achieved his massive wealth, they never had a major disagreement. Yet, after Floyd made millions, their relationship began to suffer as Floyd started spending recklessly. Cars, buildings, and other lavish expenses became his obsession. And this shift in priorities led to tension between him and his father. According to his father, people change when money comes into the equation. We have never had an argument in our life, me.
Argument in our life, me and him. Then we had an argument on what was the name of it? HBO. It was on HBO. Then another time we argued over by the car. I'm saying, man, what is all this about now? I'm just saying, you know. And we never had no argument. All of a sudden, it is or it ain't. Sometimes, you know, hey, when people it ain't about me training or anything like that, people get money, man, things change. I don't care whether it's your father, mother, whoever. Father, mother, brother, sister, name it. You know, if
As Floyd's wealth grew, so did his arrogance. This change in his personality caused him to lose several close relationships, including those with lifelong friends. Mike Tyson openly criticized Mayweather's arrogance, suggesting that there is nothing admirable about it. Tyson pointed out that Floyd needed to come back to reality and keep his ego in check, especially considering his immense fortune. How do you feel about Floyd, though? How do you feel about that?
How do you feel about Floyd, though?
Huh?
How do you feel about
Awesome
Floyd?
fighter, great fighter. You know, he's a little too into himself. You know, he should be. I was the same way too, but you have to come to reality some way. You have to bring your head down to God. We're nothing to be fucking arrogant. You expect us to be ignorant and arrogant. Look where we came from.
That's why I asked the question earlier about you mentoring fighters, because I feel like Floyd looked at you growing up like every other fighter. And the persona and the lifestyle was like, growing up in the hood, we looked at it like, that's Mike Tyson. We see the cars, the jewelry, the flair.
Floyd's close friendship with rapper 50 Cent was one of the most talked about bonds in the entertainment industry. But just as Floyd's fortune increased, so did the cracks in their friendship. According to 50 Cent, Floyd's obsession with money became unbearable. Floyd reportedly told 50 Cent that he never asked for his help, despite the fact that they had shared a strong bond over the years. This rift was largely attributed to Floyd's fixation on wealth, disregarding his legacy and the people who had been with him from the beginning. And I'm sitting there going, yo, when you going to give me the...
When you going to give me the money?
Because you had already invested.
Yeah. Right, like when you going to give me your half of the money back. But I ain't trying to press him because he just got out of jail, right? So it's like, let him cool his heels before you...
Was that in the millions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sitting there big, and I'm like, yo, so when... But see, the fighters are an asset in themselves. They are that talent, regardlessly. Right. You know, so I'm looking at him going, so there ain't no pressure there, but I'm saying, when is he going to say he wants to, to give me the other half of it? Why I got to ask you for it?
Right.
And then when he...
Are we talking over $2 million?
It's about that.
Oh, okay.
At that point, it was, invested in.
All right.
So look, he goes, when he finally does bring up the actual the situation, he acted like he didn't know anything. Like, I didn't tell y'all to do that. I didn't tell you to do that.
Oh man.
He said something to me one time, very simple. He said, "What a prize fighter fight for?" And I'm like, and he said, "The prize." So it's okay for you to watch the fight. Don't nobody watch Floyd fight to see how amazing he is. They watch it for the opportunity to see him lose.
Right.
Because they don't like him. They don't like him because everything that he says is about money. There's nothing else. There's no values. There's no, like the people's champ, like Ali was standing for the same things.
Right.
The audience was standing for. He doesn't have any of that. It's just money. You know what I'm saying?
He lost one of his most promising protégés, boxer Tank Davis, who felt exploited by Mayweather. Tank revealed that Floyd always put him in a position where he would constantly rely on Mayweather. Despite the earnings Davis had made from his fights, Floyd failed to pay him adequately, which led to Tank severing ties with him. Oh, I'ma be back asking you for money. No.
Give her a couple dollars. I'll take some, whatever, whenever you need some money. You feel me? But when I was legit to be able to get her out the hood, that's what I did.
Like, I had to learn that coming up that, like, a motherfucker will put you in a position to always need him. And, like, to the world, it might look like that's a great person. But, like, to somebody to understand, you understand, like, what Kendrick Lamar say? Nah, that's a master manipulator. Like, because if I got to put you in a position that always need me, you always got to, I'm going to just give you crumbs. And we hear it a lot. Like, if I'm a, nigga, what's $1,000? You know what I'm trying to say? But to you who don't have it, is a lot, and I know you going to go to war for that $1,000. So me understanding that, $48 of plot power, I'm going to always feed you a little bit so you can be excited and do just enough to come back around.
But I ain't really, just put me in a position to be able to, make my own thing. And I don't want to say no name, but they wind up catching it. The people that's over top of me, I mean, like, I was signed to him, and Floyd signed to him. So the person that he said, okay, cool. I see what's going on.
Tank also mentioned Floyd's inability to handle anyone surpassing him, as he became jealous of fighters who earned more or who were seen as greater than him, even claiming that Muhammad Ali was not better than him. On record to say this, out of all these guys in,
I'm going to say this. Okay. Out of all these guys in the history of boxing,
yes,
I've accomplished more than every fighter in the history of boxing.
Okay, Ali.
Is Ali the same fighter that got beat by a fighter with 7 fights? Leon Spinks beat Muhammad Ali when he only had 7 fights.
Yes.
And if we really tell the truth, if we really tell the truth,
well, that's what you're here for. You're here to tell the truth.
What's the heavyweight guy that Ali fought 3 times? Ken Norton, actually.
Ken Norton.
Ken Norton really beat Ali all 3 times. Go back and look at the fights. I mean, we just telling the truth. And I love Ali, of course.
Of course, Mayweather's arrogance didn't stop at his relationships. He began to flaunt his wealth to the world, and this only fueled the public's disdain for him. His habit of showing off his luxurious lifestyle, paired with his controversial comments, made him one of the most hated boxers in history. His remarks, including his belief that he was the greatest, regardless of others' achievements, only served to intensify the negative perception the public had of him.
I have never encountered an athlete who, number one, flaunts his wealth the way Floyd flaunts his wealth, and who, number two, is so blindly full of himself to the fault of those who did pave the way. He did acknowledge that much, so I appreciate that much. But the way he just blithely scoffed at Ali's accomplishments, it wasn't just disrespectful, Stephen A. Smith. It was flat out blasphemous. Now, to your credit, you did go back at him. You can't. Okay, and to Floyd's credit, you know what? Early in Ali's career, he did get dropped. Not by Bert Cooper, by Henry Cooper in London. He fought him twice in London. And he did.
With his wealth, Floyd became the most disliked boxer in boxing history. His refusal to engage in drama despite his behavior only added to the animosity. He often spoke about how he didn't care about public opinion and that he would continue to fight whether in exhibitions or traditional bouts. This indifference to the criticism he faced made him more divisive than ever, with many fans and commentators questioning his motivations. They like watching him fight because they hate him because he talks so much and he's like, look at my $1 million watch. Look at my jet. Look at my house. Look at this.
Because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit. And he's like, look at my $1 million watch. Look at my fucking jet. Look at my house. Look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed. Like this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And
my most expensive watch that I currently own is $18 million.
One watch. And so you hate him. People hate him.
He creates envy.
Yes. Yeah. He creates envy.